Redraw. Redraw. Do you remember? Redraw. Redraw. Do you remember? Redraw.
Wow. The immensity of having my guests on today has completely destroyed my streaming setup. I don't know what it is today, folks. We have my buddy Freddie Crocheron. Hey, Freddie, how you doing?
What's up?
I hope
What's up?
that shit doesn't happen again. Yeah, because that ain't professional of me. Freddie, can you give me a sound test? I'm going to see if your mic's working okay.
How do I sound right now? Is it pretty clear?
Yep. All right, cool. You're coming through. Sick. All right, everybody. Welcome to Recall Redraw, our second to last episode of season 2. For folks who are new to the show, Recall Redraw is a show where we essentially dive into the deep recesses of our memory. And really, it's a character design segment here on the stream. And every week we have a guest, somebody that I've worked with either in comics, somebody I know that in comics, could be somebody who is my childhood friend. Today it's Freddie Crocheron. Freddie, how do we know each other? Because I know I probably was just kind of, I think Instagram is really the first place I saw your work. And usually when it comes to like either comics or cartoons, a strong visual style is something that I really enjoy. But I don't know. Do you remember when we first started talking?
Oh yeah, I remember it like yesterday because it was so random. And I remember when it happened, I was so appreciative because I feel like it's very hard to reach people on Instagram like it was like maybe when I first got on, like in like 2016, 2017. But it's funny because we were like put into a group chat for like a
That's
collaborative
right.
like, project about goals.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And then like I remember, I think you were like one of the few people who either like were responding in the chat or maybe I just went snooping and I was looking at other people's artwork. But I remember I saw your work.
That's
And I
right.
was like, Jose seems really fucking cool. And then I followed, and I think you followed back shortly, or maybe you followed me first. I really don't remember who followed who, but I just remember we just like, I think that's really it. Like we just met through that group chat
Yeah.
like 2 years ago.
It was his name Frog? I think the artist goes by Frogjar. Is that who I'm thinking of? Yeah.
We were college roommates.
Oh, okay. So you actually knew him in person, like IRL.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you never met Roger.
No, I just know his artwork. Like most artists that I met online, I just know from their artwork. So I was dropped in there probably because of other artists that I was like associated with. Like I don't know if like Michael Sweater was dropped in there. I think he was. But
I'm pretty sure Michael was in it too because Frogjar is like a friend / like they go back with Michael Sweater.
Yeah.
When we went to SPX together, and I remember we bumped into Michael like a couple times. And Frogjar was like, "Oh hell yeah! Like I know you from blah blah blah."
Yeah, it's a shame that anthology didn't like happen because it was a pretty like nice list of artists there. But you're right. Like I also found Bonnie Guerra who I really love her work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forget who else I found in that group, but you're right. That was like Frogjar kind of put together the Expendables of the indie comics and cartooning community, and then like nothing happened. So yeah. I've never been invited to an anthology, so I was pretty stuck for that. And so yeah, but I'm glad that like we met and we met other cool artists. I also like we had that virtual conversation quite a months back, but I thought you were really cool. I thought your artwork was really dynamic and engaging. I'm drawing one of your characters right now. Mr. Banubu, or what is it?
Oh, Banunu.
Banunu?
From Grand Court? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm drawing him in some casual slacks. I don't know if he wears casual slacks. I'm just trying to draw him from memory.
I would say Banuna's definitely a casual slack kind of banana. I
Yeah.
would say, he's probably getting stuff from like a Target, maybe splurges at Uniqlo a little
Yeah. I did not think he was a banana until you mentioned him. It all
bit.
it all makes sense. Like does he have like a little banana stem under his cap?
The cap is supposed to be like the dark part of the banana.
So okay.
I feel like
Go ahead.
the whole like the inception of that character Lily came from one day. So I have a younger sister who her birthday is actually today. Shout out to her. But when she was a kid, one day we were like messing around and like she was drawing all these characters for me, and all of them were like these like crazy looking fruit. And I was like, man, it'd be so funny if someone like took these and turned them into like serious characters.
Yeah. So wait, so Mr.
Yeah.
Benunu was one of your sister's characters?
Kinda, yeah. Like she was just kind of messing around on notebook paper with crayons. I'd have been like 8 or something, and she was just like drawing all these like funny characters that like make me laugh. And like I was naming them, and she was drawing them, and I think I helped her draw a couple. And I was like, it'd be really funny if someone just took really silly characters like this and try to make like a dead ass like serious narrative with them.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just, I don't know, just kept that. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that's kind of like boring, like you could maybe spend some time to actually cook up some characters, but I don't know, I kind of like having a little bit of like, how do you say? I feel like if I'm making stuff, I like there to be a little bit of like, it feels like the artist is like messing with you a little bit. Like I feel like I really like absurd.
Sure.
Stuff.
Sure. No, I mean Grindcorp was really absurd. And was Grindcorp like your first like webcomic that you really started working on? I'm diving a little too early, but I was curious about Grindcorp because it seemed like a lot of your work was illustration, design, and actually I think animation came a little after. But yeah, where did Grindcorp fit in like your career?
So I made a comic that is kind of like within the same like realm of characters. Like originally, Benunu is like an evil wizard, and he is beefing with his brother.
Uh-huh.
And I made this comic for an anthology, and it's called Jefferson. And it's just like the two brothers just like arguing and talking trash and like yelling at each other and trying to kill each other. And then I always wanted to do more, like a follow-up. So I made Grindcorp as a way of me, like years later too. Like I made the anthology mission in like 2019.
Uh-huh.
And then Grindcorp, I was like, I have these characters and I've always wanted to do more stuff with them. Like what if you just like took them out of like the world that they live in and just make other stories with the characters?
Yeah.
Not everything needs to be cohesive. Like you're not a mangaka or anything, like who cares? So I just
you had more fun with it. It didn't have to feel like it was beholden to anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like, just like let loose. 'Cause, I don't know. I am. Have you ever seen Jimmy Neutron?
Yeah.
Do you know his arch rival, that like old man, like Professor Calamitous?
No.
It's such a deep cut, bruh.
That wasn't from like because it was a movie first, but no, that was one with the aliens. No, Dr. Calamity.
It was in the movie with Timmy Turner, the Jimmy Power Hour.
Okay. Damn, we're getting deep in there already. Okay.
Well, so Professor Calamitous is like as smart as Jimmy, if not smarter, but his problem is that he can never finish things, so he always loses.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like I resonate with that so much. Professor Calamitous and I are soul bonded. I love having like very grandiose ideas and like building and taking notes, and then like I will just like crash out.
Sure. I'm
like,
interested in getting into that because I feel like when I was younger, I had a lot of ideas. I'm talking about like elementary school, where I would really have all these kinds of like plans and ideas. I used to create like pirate crews with my friends. We're like, oh, we're gonna be this club and we're gonna do all these things, and then it just became this big thing that I didn't like continue with, and now I'm 32 years old, and I have friends who help me out with this stream sometimes. We were gonna do game reviews. We started with 2 game reviews when I started streaming, and then it was my turn to do my review, and I've been sitting on it for like 4 months. And like, I'm like, I feel so bad because these guys really want to do a segment for the show. And I'm just like, I've slowly been trying to do other things, like moving on to like this segment and another segment. I totally get you. Like sometimes like we have too many ideas for our own good.
Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, I think it's good. Like, I have recently been trying to get like my creative like flow back.
Yeah,
I feel like when I was younger and before I cared so much maybe about social media and before I knew too much, I think I was just like so willing to just throw myself into the fray and just like try stuff out.
Yeah,
and I think over time I've become a lot more like creatively fragile.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
I think Grindcorp was like an excuse for me to just be like, dude, who cares what anyone thinks?
Yeah.
Like, who cares like if anything was cringe or like dumb or if it doesn't make sense? Like, just go stupid. Like, who cares? No one cares as much as you do.
100%. I'm still trying to learn that. I've recently like gotten more into the furry community, and I keep going back to this example, but like, if you think about, like, you know, people often use these as like cringe examples, but like when you think about those artists who make like 400 pages of Sonic fan art, like on like lined paper, I'm just like, I wish I had that like intensity, like that like drive to make something like that. And I don't think people understand how special that is.
Shame.
Right? Yeah, exactly. No shame on it. So yeah, we're gonna get our Sonic fan art comics someday, Freddie. Like, don't worry. But cool. So such a great start to the conversation. We're gonna get back to some of these ideas. But I'd love to share the theme for you, if that's all right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a theme to this show. I forgot. I was already into the conversation. I forgot what my segment was about. All right, folks. Our theme for today, and it's actually great that you're drawing a very muscly character, because we're going to be drawing a lot of muscles today. Our theme for today, folks, is... That's right, it's Dragon Ball Z!
No way!
Yes way, Freddie! I thought, you've been drawing a lot of Tekken art. Which here's the other thing. I wish we got some of the folks who watch our stream who are really into fighting games. A lot of the folks who watch the stream are really into Mortal Kombat or really into Street Fighter. But a whole conversation of Tekken probably could have come out of this. Maybe still can.
Yeah.
But I try my best to find something for my guests that they will enjoy. Sometimes it does involve some cyber stalking, in which like I scroll down to like the bottom of your art feed to see like what you have drawn in the past, and you had one piece of Dragon Ball like Z art, and it wasn't just Dragon Ball Z, it was like Dragon Ball GT era, like Super Saiyan 4 stuff. So I'm like, okay, this person has seen enough of this where I can just say Dragon Ball Z, and then he's gonna be like cool with it. So very excited. Yeah, tell me, Freddie, like what's your experience with Dragon Ball Z?
Man, Dragon Ball, I mean, I feel like I'm like such a stereotypical like middle 20 to 30-year-old like anime nerd. Like, grew up with Toonami. Definitely Dragon Ball was like so important in my life in terms of getting me to draw. So like basically what happened was my brother, I have an older brother who's 6 years older, and he used to keep a binder with all these like notebook pencil drawings of like Dragon Ball characters. And then when I was like in first grade, I think I was like 7, I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. Like, I want to do this all day, every day. So then I just started drawing like Sonic and Dragon Ball, and like literally I just never stopped. Like I was like, oh, this is just it.
Wait, so was Dragon Ball your introduction to anime in general?
In a way, yeah, but I feel like when I was watching Tsunami, like I was definitely like watching it just because it was on. I feel like if I'm gonna be real, I remember watching Sailor Moon before
Okay,
Dragon
for
Ball.
sure, for sure.
Not even really retaining anything, but just it was just on and I was watching it and like Hamtaro and like this is anime. It's like a mech anime called Big O that's like kind of
Mm-hmm.
inspired by like
Mm-hmm.
Batman. Um, but yeah, Dragon Ball though was I mean huge. Like so much to the point where like I grew up really religious
Uh-huh.
and I had friends who would come over to my house and they'd be like, I can only watch or like play Dragon Ball at your house because like my mom like saw an episode and she heard them like call Mr. Satan or like,
Right,
you
right.
know, Demon King Piccolo, you know, like parents are getting super stressed about that stuff like in a black Christian household
Yeah, no,
in the early 2000s. So,
in
yeah,
Mexico it was definitely like devil worship. Pokemon
that's crazy.
Pokemon. My cousin
Yeah,
had her Pokemon cards burnt up by my aunt because of like the
yeah,
idea that you're summoning demons, right? Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
I I I thought Dragon Ball Z was a Mexican cartoon because everyone in Mexico, all my cousins and all my Mexican friends, everyone and their older brothers, they loved Dragon Ball Z, and they were all, all of my family members and everyone, they were Mexican, and I thought, oh, okay, this is just
Yeah.
a Mexican cartoon because I'd go to Mexico, we'd watch it in Spanish. I had no idea what anime was. I just
Oh,
like, I
wow.
did not know that like Japan was known for creating like really cool animation. I just thought like, oh, it's just Dragon Ball Z is just about a Mexican kid because he has black hair, and I just like,
That's fair.
we all
That's
have black
fair.
hair, and so it just like I never made the connection, but yeah, I was introduced
That's
when
so
I was very
fire.
young, yeah. But
I
so
love it.
why did Dragon Ball Z stick out? Did you do you still keep up with like Sailor Moon or Big O? Like, did Dragon Ball Z stick out amongst the others?
Oh, for sure. I feel like, because I remember like they had the Frieza saga and then the Cell saga,
Yeah,
and then I remember like I think while they were dubbing the Boo saga or like figuring out how to release it, I remember there was like this break where they were doing like classic Dragon Ball. So like I was simultaneously watching Dragon Ball with Dragon Ball
I
Z.
see. Yeah.
But I mean, it was my shit. Like I would, tune in every like weekday night. I can't remember like the special days where a new episode would come on, and then like Friday nights they had the movies. The
Mm-hmm,
movies
mm-hmm,
like the Future Trunks one when like
mm-hmm.
Gohan like dies, or like the Cooler movies, the Fusion Reborn. Like I had the video games. Like I'm probably a little bit too tapped into
Yeah,
Dragon Ball
yeah.
Z.
You're definitely more
The
tough than
Netflix
I
series is
am.
pretty sweet.
I never watched the movies. I know the characters like Brawly and Super 17. I was more of like as soon as we had the internet, I just wanted to know what every character looked like. And like
Yeah,
you just find these
that was the
websites where like you can't find this shit anymore. They have wikis, but wikis are filled with so many ads. There used to be websites where you could just like I just want to see every picture of every character in whatever the show I'm
that was the
watching. And now all those websites are
yeah,
either gone or like they're just been replaced by wikis. It's sad. But
yeah,
so yeah, so you're really tuned into this. I'm
yeah.
curious. What Okay, so let's start thinking about it. Uh
Mhm.
think of a character that you would Oh, sorry, I didn't put the music back on. There we go. Think of a character that you would like me to challenge me to remember. The trickier the better, always. And then I'll start thinking of a character to give you. Um,
Okay, hell yeah.
but I'm wondering how hard this is going to be, given you're so tapped in. But I think we can think of something here. Um,
I'm so excited. If it makes you feel any better, I have a friend who I like did a duel of like Krillin for him for
uh-huh,
his birthday,
uh-huh.
and I think it was probably like the worst drawing I've ever seen.
It's Krillin.
Like I love
He's
Dragon
just
Ball.
he's like the simplest character on the show.
I don't know. Like I love Dragon Ball. But there's something about like how specific the features are on
Yes,
the face that
yes,
I feel like it is a little tricky.
yes.
It gets a little murky.
I've tried to draw Goku from memory and I cannot. Like Akira
Oh yeah,
Toriyama has like that angular like jaw thing, like to such a like a very specific degree.
yeah.
It's hard. It is hard.
It's insane. I'm like, how did you like, who are you actually? How did you do this?
Before I decide on one, what's your favorite arc or your favorite saga? Yeah.
I feel like it might be the Frieza saga.
Yeah.
After like going back, like as a kid, definitely it was like the Blue saga just because it had like all the crazy transformations and evolutions. But it has to be the Frieza saga because I feel like it's like the most like grounded. Like the Saiyan saga going into the Frieza saga. Like,
Okay.
Really
Yeah. It feels like it doesn't lose the plot as much as some of the later sagas do. I definitely.
I love like an underdog story.
Yeah.
Like you're watching all of them just get blown up like on an alien planet. You find out that Goku's an alien. Like this whole time you thought that he was just like mystical young man, and it turns out no, he's just like an alien.
Yeah.
Like it's I don't know. I love the Freezer saga.
I definitely enjoy the android into the Cell saga. The androids are definitely some of my favorite characters. I was too young to kind of understand that the Red Ribbon Army was like a Nazi party. That kind of like because wait, actually, don't they do like in the Dragon Ball series, like there's more Red Ribbon stuff, and I think it's more apparent.
Yeah.
That what they're trying to be.
Yeah.
But I love Android 17 and 18. I love Android 16. Is 16 the Arnold Schwarzenegger looking guy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. With the red
Yeah. Yeah. He was my favorite. Did you ever play the Budokai games?
Of course.
Yes. Yeah, he was my favorite to play as. Because
it's always cool meeting people who like their favorite characters weren't the main characters. Because like I feel like I cannot think past Goku. Or, like Piccolo, but like I love that your favorite character was Android.
Yeah.
He is honestly the coolest.
I feel like Akira Toriyama did such a great job creating such a unique cast of characters. And here's my gripe, and this is me just being old and maybe just not as familiar with Akira Toriyama's like later work. But also rest in peace to Major King. This isn't to discredit him, but his later designs just kind of felt a little like samey, didn't they? Like.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like they become like less ambitious.
Yeah.
And then like even I don't know if you like keep up with like Super or any like the newer stuff, but even a lot of those designs, I feel like it's kind of just like copy paste.
Yeah.
Not as fun.
Because there's like I think this might be before Super, but there's a guy who he looks like he's just like a generic alien, like just a bald head and like holes for it's like Boo without the antenna. And I feel like that just might be like, okay, he's just collecting the bag, he's older, like just let the man retire, so I don't blame him. But
I think if you look at his artwork, like his like anime translated work and like his kind of like manga art and sketchbook stuff, like some of that stuff is still pretty cool.
Yeah.
If anything, he kind of did this thing where like he started making his characters like a lot more like slender and a lot more like youthful looking, almost kind of similar to like what Araki does in JoJo. So where like all the characters just become like a lot more like frail, like that happens with Araki stuff over time, and I think that stuff is like really, really special.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
His like later work.
So I think I'm gonna pick somebody from the Frieza saga then, or the Saiyan Frieza saga, and then if you can think of somebody from the Cell Android saga.
Oh yeah. Do they just have to be like in it, or do they have to be like they were introduced?
No, honestly, I would say like just pick like we're not here to like be sticklers about rules. We're here to have fun. And any semblance of rules is really just a guideline.
Okay. Oh yeah.
But I want to think of somebody. I don't know how. I mean, it seems like you're pretty tuned in, but how well do you remember the Ginyu Force?
I know all their names.
Okay.
Could I draw them? We'll see.
Could I have you draw? Oh gosh, was it? I have to just look up the name. Hold on. It's not Zabora, is it?
Nah, Deborah is like the really pretty one with the long hair. He was like Frieza's like
Zarbon, which is that the pretty one.
Zarbon, yeah.
Yeah.
You said Deborah. Oh, that's I know. I'm tripping.
Okay.
You're right. Yeah, Zarbon is the pretty one.
So Zarbon, I want to challenge you to draw Zarbon, but given that like you just drew this fucking amazing thing while we've been talking, I'm gonna have you draw Zarbon in both the pretty and ugly form. Do you remember that he had an ugly form?
Yes, how could we forget?
Okay. So I'm gonna give you Zarbon, and then who would you like to give me?
Okay. Let me think. From the Cell Saga. I don't know why, but I feel like I kind of want to see how you would draw Tien with the 3 eyes.
Okay.
I think about Tien because in that saga he has like this moment where he like sacrifices himself to save everyone.
Yeah.
And I feel like it gets so underlooked. I'm like, Tien is kind of the goat.
Wait, does Tien sacrifice himself, or is it his friend?
His friend sacrifices himself in the Frieza saga, and then in the Cell saga, like before Cell gets to Android 18, Tien does like the super tri-beam cannon move or something. He does it so much that he dies.
Oh
so
shit!
He like passes out.
Damn. Okay.
But he was like a human, and he was able to like temporarily like stop Cell, and everyone's like, "Oh, when did Tien get so strong?"
Yeah. Okay. I'll draw Tien. I'm curious what his like what was he like, because usually like Dragon Ball Z is based off of Journey to the West. Goku is essentially supposed to be, I guess, Wukong. And then you have Oolong as like the pig character in the story. There is a fish character, but I don't know who the hell that's supposed to be. It's a very like very loose interpretation of the mythology, but I think there's a lot of Chinese influence into the world and the art style that Akira Toriyama takes for Dragon Ball, and it's kind of interesting because it's like, you know how like a lot of U.S. manga artists there's a Mera manga where it's like, oh, we're very loosely based on Japanese culture, Japanese comics. This is like a Japanese mangaka doing his own version of that with Chinese traditions and cultures. And so it's just kind of like Tien, his outfit is fairly traditional. He's a monk. But the third eye thing, I'm just like, where does that come from?
No one knows.
No one knows.
I don't even think. I've seen Akira talk about it, and sometimes Akira has said that Tien is like a mutant, and other times it's been Tien is like a deity. I think I could be wrong. If you're a Dragon Ball fan and you're hearing this, then I'm fucking it up.
Is the eye real? I don't remember if it's real.
Oh yeah, it's super real.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it gives him like special abilities. Like he can like clone himself. He can grow like 6 arms.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure. No, he didn't. He might have created Solar Flare, or maybe that was Krillin. I know that's Krillin's like bag, but I can't remember if he like stole it from. Yeah, but no, that eye be doing stuff. It's very powerful.
So, I wanted to ask you, Freddie, like you know, seeing all your Tekken artwork, you're no stranger to drawing the big muscly bound character. And like myself, I drew a lot of muscly bound monsters. I think it had to do a little bit of mixture of Dragon Ball Z, the wrestling anime, Kinnikuman?
Ultimate Muscle?
Ultimate Muscle? Yeah. And there was just a lot of like, superheroes, even with DC stuff, like just watching Justice League and whatnot. What do you think was your biggest inspiration for when you were Did you start drawing as a kid?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say definitely Dragon Ball, but then it's funny to say out loud, but I feel like it's kind of normal now because anime is so loved. But in high school,
Yeah.
I wrote like my senior thesis paper was about JoJo. I love JoJo. And I feel like that it was like first I watched Fist of the North Star, and then I kept seeing people talk about how similar the character design was, like for Jotaro in Part 3 and Kenshiro in Fist of the North Star. So I was like, all right, let me see what JoJo is. So I watched like the OVA, and I was hooked. Like I read.
Yeah.
I was so low budget. I was reading like JoJo manga on my phone, like on the school bus, and I had like a really, really bad like Nokia slide.
Oh,
like,
no.
I had the phone like inches away from my nose, and I'm just like scrolling and like watching things like load up super slowly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Damn,
so
you had a data plan in high school?
I must have, yeah. I was like on a family plan or something. I don't know how I was getting that that manga, but it definitely was. It was definitely illegal. I was definitely on like mangareader.com
Yeah.
or something, and yeah, I was hooked.
That's
But I feel like I've always, like Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, like all those things, like were like staples in my house.
Yeah. Did you feel like did that inspire you to want to create art? How did you get into drawing in general?
Well, first it was definitely Sonic. Love Sonic. Shout out to the Blue Blur. But I would say it was Sonic, Dragon Ball, and then when I first decided to take art serious, it's like so random. I feel like everything that has gotten me to this point has just been very random and whatever. But are you a Mega Man fan?
I'm not, but I love the designs. I not the games that I really play, but I love all those robot designs. Yeah.
There's a spin-off series that was on the Game Boy Advance called Mega Man Zero.
Is that the turn-based one?
No, that one is Battle Network.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Mega Man Zero is like in the future, and you play as Zero, who is like a side character. He's like the second protagonist, but I think it's like a clone. Like they cloned his body and they like hibernated it so that in the future, like he would be able to protect people from like evil robots, and like Mega Man has like turned evil somehow, and like the design of it is like way different. It looks, I would say, very similar to kind of like Evangelion a little bit. Like
Interesting.
the designs of like the robots. But I don't know why, but something about that game, I was just like obsessed. And I remember I just would tell myself like, you're gonna go to school, become an artist, so that you can like work on an anime for this game.
Yeah.
At its final.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like when I first started taking art, which was, I think I was like 11 years old.
And you were just like self-teaching at that point? Were you taking any classes at school or outside of school?
No, I was self-taught. I feel like I didn't know how to vocalize how much I cared about drawing or art, so I feel like my parents didn't really know how serious to
Sure. Yeah.
take me.
Yeah.
I did take like a Photoshop class when I was like around this age, but like I retained nothing because I hated it. We were learning basically how to do, I would say like graphic design, but it's Photoshop.
Sure.
So like we were like, using like the pen tool to like create shapes, and I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
So everything was pretty much like self-taught. Yeah. If anything, I was encouraged to stop drawing cartoons because everyone was like, "You're not gonna make money doing that."
Yeah. So I'm assuming. I think one thing that we both were able to either commiserate on or relate to was we both studied design, even though our passions were somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's tough because like in the same way it's hard to translate to your parents at a young age that you have an interest in art. It's also harder to, at the point where you're 18, 19, your parents trying to think of if you're going to start working or go to school, like how do you articulate like, well, I want to work, but the thing I want to work at is something that is notoriously, not bringing in the most money. We've learned in the past couple of years how tenuous the animation and video game industries are, and essentially, yeah, it's like to our parents, art is not really the most safest option. But
Yeah.
so how?
I try to explain that to my family all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy out here.
Yeah. How this is maybe getting a little ahead, but like you're working as a graphic designer, but you still make comics, cartoons, you still make art. Do your parents know you do stuff like this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like since I have a job, I feel like they have a mixture of emotions. Because I am from Ohio, and when I went to college, I stayed in Ohio, and I was able to generate just like a pretty decent, just like following / like name for myself. And I've been in Texas for going on 2 years now, and like I haven't really embraced the arts community. I haven't done any shows. I haven't done any markets really. Like I've kind of just been like playing around because I feel like I'm trying to figure out like what is next for me creatively.
Yeah.
So I feel like my parents, if art comes up, they're always like, "Oh yeah, like what are you doing actually? Like
Yeah.
you know that you have a job, and
Yeah.
that's sick, but like you're supposed to be in galleries, like you're supposed to be, like." I feel like they support me because like they've seen what I can do. Like any show I ever have had, like they've shown up and supported
That's
me.
great.
Like, yeah, they're super supportive.
Yeah.
I feel like they're more so kind of like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, that's great because at that point they have a point of reference that okay, you've done gallery shows, they've seen your work out in the wild. I have trouble with my parents understanding, like they didn't really get the comics thing until they saw the book in their hands, and
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to explain to them that like I had left my design job last month. And I very much have explained to them that like, yeah, I'm trying to write a book pitch. Like it's just like writing, just sitting down to write doesn't really calculate as an occupation to them. So every time I come back home, like this is even just last weekend, the first thing they say is, "So are you finding a new job yet?" I'm like, "This is the job, Mom. I'm investing into something else. This is the job." And so it's not for a lack of support. It's just a lack of understanding. These jobs just didn't exist to an immigrant family. I like having your folks understand what you're doing. That's incredible. So in terms of like where you want to see your career go, are you like? So you still want to make an anime version of that Mega Man spinoff? Is that still the goal?
No. That would be sick. I really hope someone does one day. That'd be awesome. But I honestly don't know what I want. I feel like a lot of the decisions that I've made as a creative have kind of been like, people responding to what I do and me being like, "Oh, that's a good idea. Like, if you could see that for me, like, maybe I should give it a shot."
Yeah.
And then it's me just been, experimenting and hearing people out and just realizing what I like and don't like.
Yeah.
And I don't know, even now it's like, I don't know, I like to draw and I've been playing around with like Tekken fan art, but like, I feel like it's really hard for me to figure out like what is the plan. But I do know that I really am passionate about a comic story that I've been writing. Whether or not if it's like published or if it's just like online or wherever it happens, like I am very, very like wanting to get this story like off the ground and just get it into people's hands somehow.
Yeah. Do you mind if I ask what a summary or a log line of what your story is?
Yeah, sure. So it's kind of evolved over time, but essentially the comic is I wanted that part, and the first part is okay. I'm like making it so complicated. Elevator pitch. It is a character named Jeff. he exists in the same world as Sununu. Jeff is his younger brother. Jeff is a violent criminal. He likes to run around. He likes to fight people. He likes to take stuff, and he does it just because he doesn't know better. He's like young. I'm not really putting an age on it, but I feel like everyone just refers to him as like a dumb kid.
Yeah.
But he's very strong and very good at robbing people.
Mm-hmm.
And he has help from a young girl who is very similar to him. Her name is Rhonda. And yeah, they just go around town fighting people, robbing them. And they keep having these encounters that kind of help them mature, and they slowly start to kind of like want more out of life. And I feel like as the story goes, I kind of want them not to be heroes, but just normal, like kind of doing things like feeding the community.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I feel like I'm more so excited about telling stories with characters around them. Like there's a detective and a police officer who keep trying to catch Jeff, and they keep trying to get close to Jeff without getting hurt because they don't want to get their ass hit. You find out that Jeff may or may not be like the son of like this cursed man who is kind of like possessed by like a beast, almost like a Beauty and the Beast situation. It's a little bit all over.
No, I always enjoy stories that there's Ursula Le Guin concept of rather than telling a story as a hunter, which is the hero's journey. You go out to hunt the mammoth, you come back with the story about hunting the mammoth. Ursula Le Guin has this idea of the gatherer, which is the gatherer has a bag of a bunch of different things they found, and the story is told about how those different things interact with each other. And so this sounds very much like a gatherer story, because you have your cast of characters. Now, how do they interact in this setting? Which is great, because that's such a great writing exercise, because you're not necessarily thinking about a hero's journey right away. You can very much think of more realistic situations and dialogue. But yeah, it sounds like you're still gonna have those crazy characters that you did for Grindcorp, like just very larger than life kinds of characters.
Yeah, I love that you're so good at explaining stuff. That is literally, I feel like I don't want the pressure of like making like a story that has like a call or like a resolution or anything. Like I really just want an excuse to just make crazy characters have to interact with each other and get mad at each other and love each other and fight each other. And it's like I just really just want to, I don't know, draw a bunch of cool characters. Yeah. I think that's fun. I feel like you should always lean towards the stuff that is going to excite you for the project. And then in the same way that like there's that adage of it's associated to Hemingway, but I think it's apocryphal. It's write drunk and edit sober. So the way this applies here is like have fun with the story you want to tell, and then go back into it and find the structure that allows it to be digestible and understood by an audience. Because half of the work is like how it makes sense to us, and then I think the other part is how does it make sense to a reader. Not to say that you're writing for a reader, but there is an aspect of it where like there's a point where like it has to be digestible by them as well. Yeah, like you have to make it fair. Like I feel like I've learned that I have to remember that if I'm making something, like it's not just me that's looking at it. Like there's people who aren't in my brain, so it's like you have to kind of make it easy on folks to kind of get where you're coming from.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I'm very excited. It's funny though, because I feel like I am on my third, I think attempt, no, maybe like fourth attempt at creating like the version of this that I want. And I know that I'm probably, working too hard to make it perfect and over editing, but I feel like my gut is also telling me that I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to it's hard, and maybe I'll lead this into my next question in regards to like writing comics and telling stories. It's hard to figure out when something is ready, because I think you can always edit things as long as you want. And I'm curious, like how did you first start approaching writing? Does the story have a title or a working title?
Yeah, right now it's called Jeff the Criminal.
Jeff the Criminal.
The first part. Yeah.
How did you approach starting to write that? I'm trying to learn how to be a better writer myself, working on these pitches, and I'd be excited to hear kind of how you start from a blank page, especially in comics.
I've tried a couple different methods. First, I tried to just straight up write with no drawing. And I liked that, but I think my problem was that, I don't know, I feel like I need to do both at the same time somehow. I don't know. But something that helped me when I was like kind of struggling, there's a book. I'm next to my bookshelf, so I don't read it. But there's a book called Several Short Sentences. And it is written by like a professional writer. I can't remember his name. Honestly, it was recommended to me by my wife, who is in grad school, and one of her professors gave it to her. Oh. But the book essentially just breaks down like how, when you're in school, you're trained to like write very academically, and how that doesn't necessarily like carry over when you're like trying to write professionally, because you're taught to write in like a very unrealistic way. Like if you're writing like a professional research paper, that's different from you writing a comic. Or a short story or a poem. So in the book, they basically just teach you to like anything that you write, shorten it, and then shorten it again. Like make things like as to the point as possible. Don't really get fixated on the details. Like they talk a lot about like trusting your audience and like trusting that they'll like figure out what you're trying to say.
Sure.
You might think it's too short. So going off of that, I like keep a lot of notes in my phone, and I feel like I get a lot of inspiration when I'm like not thinking about comics. So I just will write down like a quick little, strip idea, or like a quick like note about a character, like, oh, this character is actually supposed to be like more humorous.
Yeah.
Or this character is actually like more serious, and I feel like I just been like slowly piecing it together. It feels like I'm putting together like a puzzle.
Yeah.
Or like, it's, but I'm not like killing myself over it. Like I'm not like constantly like at the editing table, like, you need to do this. Like I'm treating it very light and very playful right now. So I tap in and tap out here and there.
Yeah.
But,
had you taken any kind of classes or in writing at all? Is your wife, is she a creative writing major, or is because she's doing her was it PhD right now, or?
Yeah. No, she's in school. Well, she just got her master's in design, and then she's getting her PhD also in design.
Okay.
I think both are pretty vague in terms of like what you can do in the program, but you're just expected to just like write a lot in dissertations, and like kind of prove that your work matters. So I think she just had a professor who literally was just like, I think you should read this, and she got the book, and then we were flying somewhere, and she like put it with my luggage.
Yeah.
She was like, you should read this.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's incredible that she was able to help at least in a step in the writing, because I feel like, I have no real writing experience except for some short stories. I just feel like it does feel like putting, like you said, a puzzle piece together, rather than having like a writing routine, which is something I'm trying to develop. But it's really hard to, because when I'm a visual person, for me drawing is the way I build a story, to sit down and write is very foreign to me. And I've been trying to wake up at like 6:30 to do a little bit of writing in the morning. So almost like before the world wakes up, before my phone can distract me, before like my wife doesn't get up until like maybe like 8 o'clock. Like it's just like, what can I like the headspace I have to be in to write is such a chore, because it's so foreign to me. And I'm hoping that gets better. But yeah, it does feel like putting a puzzle piece together because I'm often keeping like my notes app is my best friend when it comes to writing. And,
oh my god!
Right,
Yeah.
and essentially like keeping track of like I don't know like I try my best to solve all my problems at the work desk, but I can't. I'm an overthinker. And I don't know if you feel the same way, but like, like you just think about your stories like on the drive home or on a walk or in the shower, and you just can't help but like figure out plot points and ideas while you're doing these things. And one of my favorite quotes from Tom Waits, one of my favorite quotes about creativity I love to share is Tom Waits doesn't do that. Tom Waits kind of trains his creativity to only happen when it's at the writing desk. And he has this joke about what happens when you get a song idea driving down on the 5, and you just get this really great idea in your head. And then the joke that he made was like, you tell it to fuck off and go bother Leonard Cohen. And it's just like the idea is that like he just doesn't allow himself to basically work off the clock. And I guess maybe this leads to my next question about kind of like, you have your day job, which is working in design. When do you clock in as a cartoonist or as a writer?
I feel like everything that you just said, honestly, is like stuff that I've been recently like adopting myself. Like I feel like I used to, so not trying to deviate too far, but like when I was younger in Columbus, I used to live at an art gallery. Like it was like a DIY space, and I would, at the DIY space, as you can imagine, like not the most glamorous spot. Like it was like a soap factory that was like turned into a apartment, and our apartment in the 90s, someone converted it into a gallery. So
it stopped smelling nice. Like it didn't smell like soap anymore?
Yeah. 1,000%. It smells like PBR.
Yeah.
I learned, I think when I was there, because I was like out of college and I was just like so just excited to just do art. Like I literally would wake up, I had sketchbooks all around my bed, and I would just like draw constantly. And I'd be like, it doesn't even matter if it sucks. Like just draw, go crazy, go crazy, go crazy. And I feel like I didn't really learn to stop doing that maybe until the pandemic. And I feel like, within the past year, I would say that I've learned a very similar lesson to the quote that you're just saying. It's like, just because you have an idea doesn't mean that it's a good idea.
Right.
And just because you feel like you should be doing something, like that doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. Like I've been reading a lot of, and it's funny, I don't know why, I feel like I've always kind of been like hesitant to read books about creativity, but I read like The Artist's Way, and then I read a book called Big Magic, which is by the author of like Eat, Pray, Love.
Yeah, I remember Big Magic. And then the first book you said, that's the Rick Rubin book?
Artist's Way is like a more, I can't remember the author's name, but I know it's not Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin has like a pretty good book too. This book is like, it actually inspired Eat, Pray, Love, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Like Martin Scorsese has read it. It's like a little bit more like an old school like classic for creativity, but in those books they just talk a lot about how you have to, like creativity is something that you kind of have to control and be mindful of, like be very mindful of, but not to the point to where like you're overcritical or like they call it being a censor. Like don't listen to like that.
They call it being a what?
A censor. Like
a censor. I see.
Yeah, like there's like a voice in your head that's telling you like, oh, since you didn't do this yet, like, you're never gonna do it. That's a shitty idea. Like you should literally just lock in when it's time to be creative. Nurture your ideas. Like listen to your ideas, because if you don't, like, ideas are almost like not spiritual, but they're like energy. It's like if you don't tap into the idea, 2 years later someone else is gonna tap into
Interesting.
it, and then you're gonna be like, damn, that was my idea, like I should have did that, or like they stole my idea. I must like post it on my story, and they saw it, and they like, like
Yeah.
goofy stuff like
I
that. But
I
think,
I definitely consider that an excuse. I
yeah,
I don't worry about launching my ideas now or later, because I feel like if somebody my wife instilled this idea into me, because she's worked in tech spaces, and the idea is, even if somebody has done it before, you can always do it better, and that's
or just totally different.
Yeah.
It's like it might not even have anything to do with one another. But yeah, I like what you said though. It is like an excuse. Like I feel like when being creative, they say like your creative self is a lot like your inner child, and the ways that you explore creativity says a lot about maybe how your inner child was like nourished.
Yeah.
This is getting kind of woo.
No, go for it. You said that you'd be talking too much, and I want you to do it.
So if you imagine your creative self as like your inner child, you need to think about like, what are you telling this creative side of you? So it's like, are you being like overly disciplinary? Are you being overly like critical? Are you being overly, just like negative, or and I do think, certain ideas serve a certain place. It's like, if you are constantly creating, but not necessarily like creating for the sake of like a gold star, but you're just creating just because you like to make stuff, I think you're more likely to maybe be successful in your other like creative endeavors, because like you're so in flux of making that like you're kind of not fazed by like if things don't turn out how you expect, but yeah, and I feel like that's why I can kind of relate to what you're saying before. Is like, I think you should know when you have a creative idea that like you're like, I'm very, very serious about this, versus a creative idea where you're like, this is just gonna make me laugh for like 5 seconds.
Yes. Or like what we were saying right at the top of the show, like, or it's just gonna blow up into nothing. Like, essentially the idea that like we have so many ideas that sometimes we just kind of like nothing comes out of it because maybe it just wasn't something worth pursuing. Totally.
Yeah. Like, I think for myself, like I was saying before, like I can be very kind of like impressionable, and I feel like the past 2 years I've been trying to like guard my creative self. Like, especially during the pandemic, like when we were talking about like family, for example, like during the pandemic, my parents, they'd be like, why don't you like hit up like a high school and see like if you can like design their jersey?
Yeah.
Like, why don't you like get like a mentor and start like an LLC and like do children's books?
Yeah.
And it's like all these what ifs. I feel like over time I was like, why don't I do these?
Yeah.
I started to kind of, use my creativity as like an income source. Like, I was constantly doing like commissions, and I just felt like, oh, this is like what I need to be doing, because like this is what people expect of me. Like, everyone is, talking about making money from art, like making a career out of art, and I feel like it really kind of ruined my brain. So I feel like, these past 2 years since I've been in Texas, since I've been able to like kind of step away from home, like I think it has kind of been very nurturing.
That's good. I'm glad.
Stopping me from having like these crazy spirals and desires that aren't actually mine.
Yeah, because it could. Yeah, it just turns your head, and it's hard because spiraling. It's so easy to fall into this kind of. I think it's called like paralysis of choice. It's the idea of like there's so much shit on the supermarket shelves that you can't even pick one thing, and sometimes when you're trying to figure out what to do with your art, you find that same kind of spiraling. Like I had when I was deciding like if I was gonna stick with my design job or not, I'd have days where I was just kind of frozen. I couldn't even work on creatively because of the decision of like what can I do with this. It takes work to kind of figure that stuff out. But I'm glad that you've been working on it.
Yeah, I feel like part of it is like, I don't know, getting to know yourself better. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
You know, originally I went to art school to become an animator.
Yeah.
And then I switched to illustration and design. And then I kind of picked up animation like right before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. I feel like I just kept kind of like bouncing around, and I feel like ever since I moved, I was like, dude, like, what do you like actually want to do?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. And so now I'm just doing Tekken fan art because
Yeah.
I think Tekken's awesome.
I'm definitely a big like promoter of put the stuff you want to see more in the world out in the world.
Yeah.
My do you know my buddy Vince Crime Guys? He does the graffiti comic.
Yeah, you mentioned Vince, I think, when we talked last time.
Yeah.
Doesn't Vince have like a comic about like their graffiti days?
Yes, yeah. So they have this basically. Vince is the person that I really lean towards when it comes to like working as a self-made artist. Like he was bar backing for a long while, and then his comic, like he really pushed his comic. He pushes a lot of content, and now he's been working solely just off like his career, which is great. Like the guy made $20,000 in shirt sales like 2 months ago. And that takes a lot of dedication to like building an audience. And in essence, like this is the shit that I really hate about like social media, but I understand it for the business part. Like you have to get essentially develop yourself as a brand. He basically like taught me how essentially like how important it is to make the stuff that is important to you. He wrote we invited him to our wedding. He wrote in our wedding book, keep giving them you until that's all they want. And that really stuck with me because essentially it's just like you're gonna find people who are your audience, and it won't always be easy. You know, some people do make much better work doing nothing but fan art. Some people make a lot of commissions just doing fan art, but Vince was somebody who got a huge, like, built his business off of his own property, like his own like stories, and I find that really inspiring. And it's only motivated me to keep just making stuff that I want to make, and that idea has only been verified by other artists that I admire, who basically say like, yeah, like you like, again, going back to that cringe thing, like 400-page fan comic, like do the stuff that like really you're gonna be passionate about no matter what.
Yeah. No, I believe in that wholeheartedly. Like I feel like I used to take Instagram like so serious.
Yeah.
Like I've never really been a big fan art person. I remember I dabbled like one summer, and I think I did maybe like 5 drawings, and then like I just noticed like the likes were going down, and so I was like, oh, you're not good at this, like pivot, like do something else, like figure out like something, you know, to keep people engaged. And I don't know, I think that's just like kind of lame.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like with the beauty of like this second thing that I'm doing is like I genuinely like really like Tekken. Like I grew up with it, and I kind of don't care if people think the drawings are good or not. Like I'm genuinely just like having fun.
Yeah.
Kind of like how I used to when I would draw Dragon Ball and tune in and, you know, draw the characters as they're fighting on screen. Like I don't know. I'm like, I don't know.
No,
people have fun.
Yeah, people. Basically, you want to find your people, and you're only gonna do that if you're true to yourself and not just drawing any other thing that the algorithm wants. So I totally get that. Like I'd say my social media presence on Instagram, which is like not, it's just a nominal number of following, but it is my biggest following there. Like I post almost like every 6 months, like an actual comic on there, and then the rest of it is just promoting my stuff or promoting other people's work, and it's just like I'm doing okay. I've said this before. I'm thankful it's my wife that's supporting me in this. It's why like the rush of like the working artist, like I'm not a good example to look at when it comes to who the working artist is. My friend Vince is a prime example of the working artist. But like social media for me has just kind of been the promo spot.
Like an influence.
Yeah, the NCM, exactly.
No, I think also, I mean, Instagram and social media in general, I feel like it has made being an online artist kind of toxic. Not
Mm,
only just because of how algorithms work and how it kind of just like can make you go crazy,
yeah.
and it's literally like designed to kind of do that. But I mean, even with all this AI stuff, I feel like a lot of times when I post, I'm just like, am I just making AI stronger?
Like just adding to
Or is
it.
that something that
Yeah.
kind of works?
Yeah.
Yeah, like am I just like feeding more information into like these, digital platforms so that
Yeah.
they can just like, learn these like really niche, like the more it looks
Yeah.
at this stuff, like I don't know, I feel like it probably gets better at.
Think of
I
it
try not
this
to.
think of it this way, like even if it's not Meta or OpenAI doing it, this is the fucking scarier part. So like this is the part of the stream that always gets a little that I always turn into a downer. But like fucking randos on the internet will create their own like image models and scrape like basically if tech companies have any kind of guidelines, which they hardly do in regards to like being able to scrape content or not, there are individual agents, people who just go out and scrape things themselves and make their like like fucking Mr. Beast. He was in fucking hot water because he made an AI image generator to generate thumbnails for YouTube videos based off of other YouTubers' thumbnails. Like,
Why did he do that?
cause he fucking sold. He's a sellout, and he's not a creator. Like he's not like community focused. He's just fucking trying to make his bag, and so
I'm like, isn't he like insanely like rich?
yeah,
Like, why
yeah.
do you need to do that?
It's just like, oh gosh, there was this YouTuber that my wife and I really like. He's like a tech YouTuber. He's the guy who got in trouble for like running his Tesla like in a like really fast in a school zone. I forget his name, but he was like he invested in a business that was about selling people like phone wallpapers. And I'm just like and then everyone clown on him like rightfully so, because like you're trying to sell us something that we can just get for free elsewhere. Basically, it's just people are trying to grift on trying to take our money for nothing, like literally nothing. And I completely lost the thread of what I was gonna say earlier, but essentially, yeah, posting our stuff online, like we're not safe from just any kind of individual person trying to steal our work. What I was gonna say that is the more on the brighter side is I think no matter what, despite like AI really is impacting the industry, like art industry, the game industry, animation industry, but I feel like there's still very much a big difference between who is behind the wheel, and this is also the contention that the reason I quit my job is I didn't want to be behind an art director behind a AI focused company in my old job, like when they were transitioning to more AI stuff. I didn't want to be behind that wheel, but basically people still notice.
Was that something that you were able to vocalize to them? And
Yes,
like, okay.
I'll get into it now. I have to stop getting into it on these streams because I'm cutting them out of the VODs, like when I fucking get into it about work. But basically, I told them what the problem was, and it just kind of sounded like they're not gonna. My brother still works there. He's a tech operator there, and he said we had a meeting about how they're just doubling down on AI, and nobody on the team is like excited for it. But
That's so weird.
yeah, it's weird. And honestly, I think it's even gonna make work even more of a burnout, because when you introduce AI into like a workflow, you're basically trying to cut down time is the goal, which means you're just gonna keep pushing that time shorter and shorter on your workers to the point where it's not sustainable at all. But sorry, what I was gonna get at, and also this hand I'm drawing is so bad. What I was gonna get at was I saw you can still find great like human-made art. Like you can still notice it. And not to say that like it's easy to tell when shitty art is shitty art. What I mean is the intention behind art is still taste it. When I watched Sinners, there was one sequence in that movie where have you seen Sinners?
Of course.
Okay, you know
Very good.
the history of music montage. When you see,
Yeah.
okay, I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but when I saw that, I was like, holy shit! Like,
No, I literally shed a tear. I was like,
yes, I was crying, dude. I was like, you can still make something new. Like, that's amazing. It was so inspiring because it just it gave me hope. I was like, you can still find new things to do in this world, and it was incredible. And so that's what gives me hope.
It's always just gonna be for the people that it's for, though, too. Like, I feel like as cynical as you can be, I feel like there's also just like so much. Like you're saying, like there's tons of people who are like so talented and like anti all this stuff, and like they don't really care what anyone has to say. Like, they're gonna be artists no matter what. Like, no matter who's watching. No matter who's clicking. It's like, I don't think anyone became an artist because like they wanted social media clicks.
Yes.
Like, I think it kind of turns into that.
Yes.
Like, at some points, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, if I'm not drawing on Instagram, like, I'm still filling up sketchbooks and, you know, very curious about art, like trying to develop, you know, skills and whatnot. So I think if it's in you, it's in you. You know?
I totally agree. I think that's also the part that I don't think people who are like, what's the word, like just pro AI, people who are like, oh, why wouldn't you want to use it? It's like, I don't think you understand that, like, we like making shit, like we like the making it is part of the point. And like, that's kind of what I told my manager. It's just like, if I'm not making this stuff, that's not why I got into this line of work. That's not what I got into design. It wasn't just to be, honestly, I feel like AI is just turning every job into just being an editor. And that's not what I got into. That's also the reason why, like, I struggle to make content for like reels or for YouTube stuff. It's because, like, I'm just editing now. I'm not making comics, and so that's kind of like, it just feels like all jobs are going to be turned to just editing an AI, and that's fucking miserable. Where's the fucking heart in that?
Yeah, I really don't think it's sustainable. Like, I think as good as it all sounds, like, I kind of just have like this gut feeling that it's probably going to morph into something else, like all this AI stuff. And like, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense that like everyone is just going to like lose their ability to just do what they want because like we found some kind of computer that can like do it quicker.
Right.
I don't even know if it'll necessarily be better, because it's like, you know, as much technology as we have, it's like technology messes up.
Yeah.
And you need people to monitor it. Like, I just don't think that we will get to a point where like we can fully hands off just be like, we don't need people at all. Like, the computer's got it. I mean, what's even the point of living at that point? What are we
exactly. I've made this argument before about, like, you know, if like some folks asking me like, do you think AI could color my comic? And I feel like when you start asking that question, it's at the point where, like, if you're that in need of somebody to color your comic, why don't you just generate your whole comic? Like, at what point, like, it's just like, at that point, like, you could just make,
like,
just
how do you
exactly, like, at what point does it end? And it's just kind of like, I think here's my outlook on this is, people are gratefully overestimating what AI can do for them, and part of it is so that it's easier to sell to people. One of the last conversations I had with my coworkers at work, I was talking to them about how, like, oh, you know, my book is coming out and this and that, and actually, I think by this time I already told them I was leaving. And I told them, they understood. Like, I told some of my team members, hey, like, I just, like, for me, AI isn't creatively fulfilling. I also have ethical issues with it. And they said, okay, we get it. And then one of our producers was like, again, fuck, I don't know if I'll cut this out later. But one of my producers was like, oh, I've been writing a book, and I was genuinely interested. Like, I genuinely like want to know about people's art, especially if they're making it themselves. And then they go, I've been having Claude, or one of them, I've been having Claude write it for me. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, what's your book about? And then he says, oh, my book is about a society where men are imprisoned and women are the dominant like sex of the planet. And like I'm like,
I'm out.
I'm like, is this dude fucking like letting his kink out like on this like Teams chat at work? Like what the fuck's happening here? And he basically was saying he was using he was using an AI to write it. And at that point I'm just like you're just kind of, you're not, I don't know, it's hard. It was hard for me to, I didn't want to say it in front of him that like somebody with a stronger constitution would have told him that wasn't writing. But I'm too nice. I just go, oh, that's interesting, and that's it. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it'd be like that. I have a good friend who is really, 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 really into AI, and a lot of times, like, we'll talk about it, and like, he tells everyone to use it. He's like, oh my god, like, I'm using it to write a book for me right now, and I'm using it to like, just do all these like different creative things that like he's trying to fast track because he just doesn't want to actually like do it or go to school. Not even like you need to go to school, but he just doesn't want to like actually do the work.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just find it to be very interesting because, like you said, it's like I feel like, okay, so for example, I went on like a trip to London, and I was recommended by people that I know, like some family, to use ChatGPT to plan out my trip. And I had already planned out the trip. I went on Google Maps and I mapped everything out, and I had like my itinerary that I made and all this stuff. And they're like, no, you're wasting time. Use ChatGPT. It's so much better. And I was like, okay, you know what? Just to humor you, like I'll see what's cracking. I'll
Yeah.
And it is impressive how quick and stuff it is, but like it was just wrong though.
Yeah.
Like it was telling me to do something, it's just like wrong. And I'm like, bro, like I don't know. It's like I feel like that's the thing that scares me, is that people are so. It's like, why are people already so willing to just like bow their head to like this like artificial thing taking over? It's like you don't want to fight back at all. Like you're just.
That's
like
the thing that's the thing that kind of drives me wild. It's not just like this is gonna make life easier. It's the how easily we dropped our bar for like AI art.
Yeah.
Like I
bro, fight back.
Yeah, it's just like when people say, "Isn't this shit amazing?" Okay, here's the thing. I've been following AI since the first like Mid-Journey models hit like Twitter. This is like back in 2021.
Same.
And I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome, because all the shit that people were making was this grotesque, like the AIs didn't know how to make things, so everything was a hallucination. Like you'd have things were just covered in hair and pimples and like grotesque orbs. So people were using this for creepypasta stuff. There was this really great thread of like a really fucked up like version of McDonald's. Somebody made a visual novel, and it was just all this.
Oh, I think.
Do you know what I'm talking about? And you know how it was like fucked up and everything. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like this is shit that like humans can't actually make, because it's literally mathematically just a fuck up, a computer fuck up. And I was impressed at that in 2021. And then it evolves into fucking turn your dog into a Pixar animal, and like all this other like low bar shit, and then everyone's just like excited about it, and that's the stuff that like that's the thing that really drives me like really like doomer, is like holy shit, how did we like you said, like lose the fight already? How did we like like just let ourselves go so easily. And
I feel like it just highlights maybe the people who they don't like. I think that there's always been people like this where like they don't really understand the value of art.
yes,
Like they aren't necessarily like excited about it because it's art, but they just want like that instant kind of gratification of being like, I want this now and it's here now.
Yes.
But I don't think that it'll get to a point where like people. Because I mean, I remember even there's a point where like there's artists that I followed who were like maybe more fine artists, and they would kind of like make a piece and then have AI like tweak it, and they would make like these really crazy looking images. Like they were really cool looking, but I do think after maybe like 4 or 5 of them, you're kind of just like, this isn't interesting because like the AI is like kind of doing the same thing over and over. Like, this is just, like you're not innovating, like you're kind of just popping out the same stuff.
And I think this is why your point earlier is probably going to be the like what happens with AI is people just the fad ends, and then people just realize that like, oh, it's just the same shit. Like it's just the same shit. Oh, like I'm just gonna get, the people are gonna get tired of it and want to move on to the next thing. But by that point, like all the damage to careers and like general like art literacy has already been done. And like people are developing psychosis. People are people who already were at risk of kind of schizophrenic episodes or delusions of like grandeur or delusions of God. Like they are fine. Like people are thinking that AI is secretly like a divine entity. And I don't know if you read these stories, but of families who kind of are being broken apart because their family members believe that they're speaking to an angel or to God. And
oh my God,
this shit is, it's horrifying. But it's like on par for the course for the way humanity just treats any kind of new technology. Like people still think,
we burn it out.
Yeah, people still think iPhones were an introduced alien technology. That's a conspiracy out there. You can look it up.
That's crazy.
And so, like, what else are people gonna think AI is? And you know, it's just kind of.
The crazy thing is like that's not even like the things that you're talking about. Like that's not even like people being like, oh, I can't tell if this is real or fake. It's really just like the idea of AI or like the implication of it is like causing people to just be like, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
So it's gonna have.
I can see that though. I can really see
it's
that.
gonna have it's gonna have, I think, like you said, it's gonna have that fallout of like disinterest. Right now, it's at the like listen, like all the startups have already been made. All like everyone's we already have 5 DoorDashes. We already have 3 Airbnbs. Like all the startups, they're done. That gold mine has been drained. Now it's like, okay, now let's make up some value. And that's where that, you know, NFT stuff comes up. Like, let's just like make value out of digital currency. Let's make same thing with Bitcoin. AI. Let's get investors pumped up to invest in our AI company because there's no startups to invest in anymore. There's no new are you familiar with the Maslow hierarchy of needs? I guess did you go through like any kind of product design like classes in your program?
No, my design program, like I learned how to do like visual graphic design, but I didn't get that.
Sure.
Like I feel like it was really just like, here's how to use InDesign and Illustrator.
Sure. I think
I've heard that be referenced, but I've never actually.
So I think because like I went to school in San Jose, and I think it's like, oh, okay, we're here in Silicon Valley, let's teach them some product design. So the Maslow hierarchy of needs is essentially this hierarchy of what humanity, like what are our base needs, and it's like safety, food, shelter, and 2 other things. So most products that startups work on relate to the hierarchy. Like Airbnb is shelter, DoorDash is food, health, like all these health apps. Like everyone has hit up the hierarchy of needs. Now that every startup is already out there, what else is there? You look outside of human needs and shit that we don't need, and that's where AI comes in. And essentially, like, yeah, like we're now being sold things that we don't need. Most things are subscriptions now, so we're paying constantly, every month for these things, and it's just kind of like, it's just, again, we're getting into some fucking socialist stuff here with this stream, as we usually do sometimes. It's what happens when you reach late stage capitalist point in history where we've hit the ceiling, and now we're just trying to squeeze every penny until fucking, I don't know, a revolt happens or something. But
yeah, it really feels like that. I feel like people are just getting away with whatever they can until there's just like a huge, just like, all right, no, fuck that, like, stop.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like we're just doing that slowly every day.
Yeah, it's people trying to find that next gold rush, so they can get in and get out as quick as they can.
Yeah, I really do think too. Like, I think it might be a little cliche to like always blame the pandemic, but I feel like during the pandemic I became very conscious of like this movement that I feel like happened of like, it just seemed like being money hungry or just like becoming rich quick was just like such a trend that has like stuck. And I feel like AI kind of works hand in hand with that.
Yeah.
It is like this thing that can just instantly kind of give you answers and blah blah blah. But it just feels like we're just living during a period where like there's just like this desperation to just like have.
Yeah.
But it's like, what do you want, really? I feel like it's kind of like people are just like grabbing for straws.
Yeah.
Like,
It's paralysis of choice.
Yeah.
It's like, and I also think this is a very first world phenomenon.
Yeah.
Because fucking people have other things to worry about in the world than this shit. And it's like, yeah, it's literally like, you ever play Civilization?
Yeah.
You know how, like, I don't know if you've ever played it to like the very bitter end, but my oldest brother loves the game, so I've seen him like play into like the year 3000, right? Do you know what happens? Like, do you know where the game goes once you've reached like, you've developed nuclear technology, you've developed spacefaring? Do you know where the game goes? Nowhere. Like it literally, like, it's like, of course the game has a limit, but what I'm trying to say here is that like there's just a point where like there's just nothing enriching or nothing novel for people to get in the game, that it just kind of feels like the United States is like that right now.
Yeah, it's kind of like, like what else is there to do besides going back to the basics and, I don't know, being nice?
Yeah. So
like, how many more things can you conquer and splurge? It's like you did it, man.
Yeah.
You won.
So I think it's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I think this is why philosophy is so popular, because talking about this stuff is a way to make sense of the world a little better. But yeah, it's just kind of like, what's gonna happen? And I feel like this is specifically a very Western first world problem, because like, yeah, like I mean, other countries have far worse things to deal with, and it just kind of feels like it's just like we're fucking shitting our pants here as a country.
No, it's weird. It's a very weird time to be alive in.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I try to really hard to be mindful on a day to day, but even then, it's like, what does that necessarily mean to be mindful if you're just like in it?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm just like waiting out like a bad storm. I'm like, can we go back? Can we go back to like, I don't know, 2003? 2000, maybe one, like when Shrek first dropped.
I was just about to say, Freddie, like, I don't know if that was any better. Like, like, here's the thing. Like, I consider myself an absurdist, which is essentially a nihilist who believes that the world can still have positivity. Essentially, it's like, I know shit doesn't matter, but that doesn't mean I have to be an asshole about it. And so I feel like the world, you know, I think our parents went through just as much of a fucking unknown period in their life.
Oh, for sure. They went from cord phones to cell phones.
Yeah. But I'm talking also about like Cold War, Gulf War, like there was always this kind of sense of instability, right? And I have, you know, my grandmother lived through a period called Los Cruceros. Basically, it was like all the Catholic priests were being killed by the government in Mexico, and it's just kind of like there's all these very apocalyptic events that happen. I do hold on to hope that we try our best, or for most of us, that we try our best to, you know, keep our humanity and to keep just moving forward as best as we can. I believe in the human, like the unbreakable human spirit. So that's what, I don't know. That's what keeps me going. I have my nightmares still. I have nightmares of the sky falling. Like I'm not immune to that. But it's just like the best thing that we can do is just keep moving forward the best we can.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah. See, this is the shit. This is the shit I talk about when I don't have a guest. But since you're here, it helps.
And then people are like DMing you privately, like, "Yo, dog."
It's like, yeah, so are you okay? Like, shit, I haven't even finished this TN.
Yeah, I've been drawing some straight garbage. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I can't draw these hands. Drawing hands like on the spot in front of like strangers, terrifying.
I low-key forgot people were even like doing that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and sorry for folks who have been commenting. Chase Graves' video. Thank you for commenting on this and listening to our ranting. We had a few friends earlier. My friend Eric said shout out to you for your king drawing.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah. So
Hey,
so folks are in here.
you.
Yeah, it's kind of so basically like, because this is a podcast kind of format, and we're also drawing. In general, like the chat unfortunately does get ignored just because we are like thinking and talking and drawing. But appreciate folks sticking around and you know, interacting as well.
Yeah, shout out to you guys. Thank you for being here. Well, I did have a question for you.
Yeah.
Amidst all the chaos and the bleakness, like, what are your favorite forms of like escapism, entertainment? Like, are you a game person? Are you a movie person?
I'm very much a game person. Like yesterday I just had a crappy day, and just kind of you know, Nintendo is my comfort. Like that's why I started drawing. That's where I get a lot of my like inspiration is from video games. It's like in the same way that folks are inspired by watching movies or reading books. Video games are where I get, you know, I build a lot of my like story canon, if that makes sense. Like I've been trying to get better in regards to like movies. I opened up my letterbox recently because I love my wife loves movies and she's introduced me to so many good ones. So we usually do double features on the weekends, and that's the way that we unwind after the week. So basically,
like at the actual theater, or like
no, just at home. We will go to we will go to the theater, but like she'll pick a movie, and then I'll pick a movie based off of one aspect of that one she picked. And so it's funny. The last one doesn't really count, but it kind of does. She hadn't seen The Lighthouse, the Peter Eggers film with Willem Dafoe. I watched it a long time ago, but I've been meaning to rewatch it. And then I don't know why, but I just wanted to watch Naked Gun. You're familiar?
Original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it didn't make sense for the double feature, but they both say the word beans in both movies. So it counts as a double feature. But we've done Nicolas Cage double features. We've done some really good ones, but movies have now been a new way that I unwind. And it actually, watching movies in theaters now, you kind of start to pick up on also the kind of commentary of the modern age of like this shift into conservatism that we're seeing from our government and pop culture. 28 years later, I won't spoil it. I did write a Letterboxd review, but I won't spoil.
Oh, yeah, I need to see that. People were hyping it up.
28 years later is amazing, and it actually is a pretty good commentary on isolationism and xenophobia, the us versus them, and like without spoilers, but just how do you find compassion in a world that's ending? And so it's funny. I wasn't really an active thinker when watching movies until really a few weeks ago, because I wanted to work on my writing to work on these book pitches, right? So I opened up my Letterboxd review, but it wasn't for 28 years later. I opened up my Letterboxd because I watched Materialist 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I heard the movie's kind of bad.
That movie kind of sucks. So I remember I was watching this movie and it had nothing for me. And I remember I was just sitting in the theater and I'm like, well, I can't just sit here and like zone out like in the theater. And then I thought like I should start actively thinking about the movies and the media that I'm watching. And so I became a better movie watcher because of Materialist, because I had to think about what this movie was doing so wrong. So that I need not.
Why do I hate this?
Yeah, exactly. And so that I know what not to do.
I feel that way whenever my wife turns on. She's like really big into reality TV, and I'm sure that you are probably aware of Love Island as the rest of America, but I can't do it. I can't hang.
Yeah.
Like, I can maybe watch a couple episodes, but it's just like so too much. I can't do it.
I can't hang, but if I learned anything about relationships is just let it be.
Yeah.
Just let it be.
No, we have a projector, and it's really funny because she'll turn it on, and she's like, "You're not watching, right?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not watching." But then it's like, because it's on the projector, I'm like, "Oh, why is she crying?" Like,
yeah, like, you get into it.
What did he do now? Like you get kind of sucked into it. But then if I actually start watching it seriously, I'm like, no.
Yeah. So how do you unwind?
I would say very similar methods that you're describing. Like I worked at like an independent theater from like 2021 to 2023.
Oh, cool.
It was like a couple of years, like kind of like end of COVID, but like not quite. But
okay.
I've never really considered myself a movie person, but after working there and like meeting like the regulars and just seeing like how much people just take movies seriously, I was like, oh, there's actually like some beauty to loving films and movies and just being like a little movie nerd.
Yeah.
I feel like lately I've been really, really appreciating like movies. I like movies a lot. I just recently, I don't know if I would say this is like a high bar film, but everyone's talking about it. But I just saw that Superman movie, and I'm about to go see it again.
Yeah, I'm excited. I got my tickets for Friday. I'm excited to check that one out.
It's gonna be your first time seeing it?
First time, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, my job, I have a supervisor who I guess grew up with the comics, and he hated it.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anyone say that they hated it, so far. Most people are like, oh, it's so good. But he's like, I hated that movie. Thought it was like so bad. He's like, I had like pre-ordered tickets to see it a second time, and like I returned it.
Oh, wow.
like, oh my god.
I have my middle brother. I'm the youngest of four. My middle brother is very much he's the reason I got into a lot of DC stuff more than Marvel. So I was very into Batman, Justice League. Superman wasn't really my hero, but in Justice League, like, it was great. Like, it was awesome. So I asked him what did he think of the movie, and he did not like it. And also he's kind of manosphere-y, so I kind of had my okay. Let's see where this goes.
No, there's like this weird thing going on with that. Like, there's a lot of I don't know. There's something about like the Snyder movies that I guess catered to like this male power fantasy. And all these people are just like, new Superman is woke. Like, shit is lame.
So
I just don't get it. I'm like,
so I was expecting maybe there was gonna be something like that with my brother, but he said no. He just doesn't like James Gunn style of movies. He said this was basically Guardians, which is James Gunn has a specific style that I do agree that like
he does,
yeah.
So
for him, like he'd enjoy not just like the. Actually, I don't even know if he liked the Snyder one. He enjoys like Henry Cavill's Superman, like when the Man of Steel came out, but he would also enjoy like the Christopher Reeves movies, and so maybe that for him Superman is just something the style. He was saying stylistically, he didn't care for the movie.
Yeah, I think if you don't care for James Gunn's stylistic approach, like I feel like he's real big on like campy stuff. He likes a good soundtrack. Like he likes to throw the jokes in. He likes random like characters you've never heard before and like reimagining them. If you don't care about any of that stuff, then I could see why you'd be like, this isn't my Superman movie.
No, I'm excited for Nathan Fillion as a Guy Gardner, right? Or which? No, not Guy Gardner. Which Green Lantern is he?
No, yeah. You're right.
It's Guy Gardner. Yeah, I love that. Just from what I've seen in the trailers, I love that portrayal already. Super ready for Mr.
That's one of the things.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, people are like, why are there side characters? This is supposed to be a Superman movie. I want to see nothing but Superman. So that's definitely one of the things I feel like people are like kind of critical of. But I
feel like that makes it so much richer. I mean, maybe that's because for me, Superman by himself doesn't really do much for me. But Superman in the world of the Justice League or the JLA, like that, is really cool to me.
Yeah. I mean, that is what makes him interesting. It's like, how does this guy who's like essentially perfect, like, what is he like when he has to interact with just like people who just are fundamentally different?
Exactly. Because by himself, it's just kind of like by himself, like what is when you're fighting against a god, like what is the conflict? What is the conflict has to drive the story forward. So like Superman just always felt like he just couldn't really deal with much. But again, I might just be really inexperienced with Superman stories.
I feel like that's usually like the critique with Superman stories. Like, I'm not the hugest superhero comic guy, but like growing up, I used to get like, different Superman comic stories. Like, I remember there's like this collection of interactions of Superman versus Brainiac that I had, and it's like all these different fights between the two of them, like over like the decades of like comic history. Like, I feel like with Superman, like he doesn't necessarily have like vices. He doesn't like his vice is Lois Lane, which is like a lady that he just met at his job. Like he's a very simple kind of guy. Like he's just a really strong, kind-hearted, simple dude.
What did you say? He's a simp?
I feel like. I mean, he kind of is. I'm not gonna lie. Risk it all for Lois. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's not. I think I've always liked someone like Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is like a teenager. He's like being bullied.
Yeah.
He's like
low
key.
It's relatable.
Bad at his job sometimes. Yeah, like it's just interesting. With Superman, he's Superman. He's lightweight Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of feels like the storylines that are the most engaging are the ones where Superman breaks bad or he loses Lois. which is often those like Infinite Earth or like alternate Earth storylines. Imagine when you called him light Jesus. Imagine if Jesus had a villain arc. That'll put butts in movie seats. Could you imagine that?
That'd be crazy. That's actually kind of a good idea. I don't think a lot of people would let that idea be made.
Nope. I'm excited to see it. I'm seeing it with my best bud, who's a big superhero fan. It's always fun to go with folks who are hyped to see it.
Yeah, I am hyped to see it again, and I'm hyped to see that Fantastic Four movie.
Yes, yeah. Honestly, I don't think I've been excited for a Marvel movie in a long while. So that's gonna be dope.
Yeah. I really liked it. I don't think it's like the greatest thing I've ever seen, but I think if you like James Gunn and you have good sense of humor, I think you probably.
Have you watched what's it called? Creature Commandos?
I'm curious about it.
Yeah.
I've been seeing like posts and stuff like on Instagram, like little clips. Is it good? Is it worth checking out?
It's the animation's great. It's got that kind of like fast-paced music and animation style. The animation is really cool. It's a definitely much more mature cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing something about Frankenstein getting cheated on or something.
Yeah. It's that's a whole character arc, because the Bride of Frankenstein is a character in this show.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's definitely a mixed bag of things, but I'm 3 episodes in and I'm having a good time.
Where is it on Max?
Yeah. All the DC stuff is Max now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I feel like I've never really like cared too much about specific directors when it comes to superhero stuff, but I feel like after seeing Guardians 3, I was like, you know what, this James Gunn guy, like he's different. Like this,
Yeah.
I don't know. He has a superpower.
Yeah, I like the Guardians movies. He also did Ragnarok, didn't he? No, sorry. Thor, Thunder. What is it?
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. Was that him too?
One where like Hulk, I think it might have been in like Hulk is like a gladiator and like he bumps into Thor and it like on like this like gladiator planet or something like that.
I think so. I can't remember.
No.
That's Ragnarok. Rock and
Waititi did.
Yes.
Love and Thunder, I think.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, the director of like what's that show like? Something Shadows. Like
What We Do in the Shadows and Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
Chase Graves' video knows what's up.
Oh, they got the info.
Yeah, Taika Waititi's also his own style of filmmaking that is very unique. It's funny. Last I'm pretty sure it was last week's stream. We were talking about how Lin-Manuel Miranda had a flavor that gets cloying after a while, and he was the hot like Broadway songwriter. He still probably is, but it just like when you know something sounds like Lin-Manuel Miranda, it just like it gets tiring. And I wonder if like with James Gunn doing Superman, like what my brother had said, like I wonder if there's gonna be a point where like, okay, we've seen this already.
Yeah, I'm kind of fearful of that because apparently he's supposed to be doing the sequel to the Batman with Robert Pattinson.
Really?
Yeah, but he said it is going to be tonally different from Superman. Like he said, like he's going to intentionally like try to keep it within a similar like park. But I'm like, what do you have to do?
I don't. Yeah, it was Matt Reeves, right, who did that one. That movie was amazing. I love that one.
Yeah.
It was
I love that movie too.
It was a long ass movie, but I watched that one like twice at least.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely one that you need to see in a theater. I kept meeting
Yeah.
people who were like trying to watch it at home.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
I fell
yeah.
asleep. I'm like, well, duh, dude. Like, you know, put that on like a giant screen.
Yeah,
It's all dark.
I watched it with that same my middle brother because he loves Batman, and like he's 6 years older than me, so I'm 32, he's 38 now, and like when I tell people that me and my wife do double features, they're like they tell me like you can stay up. And so when I got my brother tickets, I'm like, hey, like, and he's a dad, so like he has a very so my a very like active like little girl, and so my mom was like, oh, well, we'll watch her, and then I was like, hey, let's go to the movies. It's like on the tickets, and then like the part spoilers because the movie's already out. The part where like before like the flood happens, like or as the flood's about to happen, I tell my brother, guess what? And we're already like 2 hours into the movie or something. I forget how long the movie is. But as soon as the flood happens, I said, guess what? We're barely in the third act. Like excited, like because I thought it was awesome. And then he was just like, oh fuck. Like he liked it, but it's just like it's a long movie.
Yeah, I felt that way too. Like after he caught up with the penguin, like on the highway, and like that cool like car chase scene, I literally was like packing up because I was like, oh, it's done. Like he got the guy, and I was like, no, it's still going.
Yeah,
and it's still going.
Yeah.
And, oh, okay, we're like it just kept going and going. I'm like, bruh. But it is good though.
It is
I'm
good.
not mad at that movie.
Yeah, yeah, it is good.
I just like how good they're able to capture a vibe. Like it's just so like it felt like they perfectly like kind of got that magic from like those video games, like those like Arkham series.
Yeah.
Like they like Gotham was crazy.
Yeah, because it wasn't trying to be super realistic.
No, yeah.
But it still felt so grounded. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that movie's awesome. I might rewatch that. I need to catch up on a lot of the superhero stuff. Like I've never actually seen the Christopher Reeve like Superman movie.
I haven't either. No, I haven't.
I weirdly though did watch the documentary about Christopher Reeve because it won, I think, award last award season.
Oh, this is a new a recent documentary?
Yeah, it's all about like Christopher Reeve's like career and his life and like his impact as Superman and like his struggles with his like
his accident.
His injury and even just like how much his family was involved. There was like so much stuff that like I didn't really know. Like I don't really know much about Christopher Reeve, but it's very good. It's a very good documentary. Very like weirdly kind of inspiring too. I mean, he was like a very it seemed like he was like a really charismatic dude. He just kind of was just trying to make it in Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only ever really known him as like about of his career of his accident.
Yeah.
Because those movies came out when we were kids. Right? When did those movies come out?
It came out before I was born. I think the first one was like 87 or maybe even 70s, I might say. But that first one is it's old. But yeah, apparently I think he was like on his way of like kind of giving up Hollywood because he was like so unsuccessful, and then he randomly got the role of Superman and he crushed.
That's crazy.
But then he could never stop being Superman. Like he tried doing other things, and people were like, "Nah, you're." It's an interesting documentary.
I wonder that for some of the folks who made their careers in Marvel movies. Because like Chris Evans was really fun in Scott Pilgrim. He was really funny in Not Another Teen Movie. Which was I think one of his first roles, but when we saw him in Materialists, he was actually probably the better part of Materialists. But it just kind of felt like, oh man, what other roles is this guy gonna have where they're not thinking like, oh, that's Captain America?
Yeah, I think it's hard. It's probably hard for him too. I feel like it's like, how do you do that character for so long?
Yeah,
and you're just like, oh, I'm not this anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw him in like this really bad Christmas movie with The Rock. I think it was called like Red One or something like that.
Oh, I didn't see it, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's rough.
I don't even know why. That movie is insane.
In a good way?
I don't. It's so bad.
Oh no.
It's like Guardians of the Galaxy mixed with like a Christmas drama mixed with like it's like so many movies in one.
No,
it's insane.
It's the shit that we come up with when we were kids. Like I would draw like, oh, the Easter Bunny and the Santa Claus team up, and also
yeah, like Krampus is in it.
Also,
like,
Freddie, we just got the sound cue that we got like 15 minutes left.
Oh hell yeah! Damn, that's so bad.
I'm here's the thing. I am more happy when we have a very successful conversation that we lose track of time. But we are approaching. It's already been 3 hours for me, 2 hours for you. But
Okay.
should we take a look at our pieces here and see how they came along?
Yeah, sure.
All right, folks. I'm actually gonna turn off the music because it's playing really fast. I designed that. That's my fault, but it gets annoying. But yeah, let's take a look. I'm gonna pull up. Is that the ugly Zarbon?
Oh.
Let's see.
Yeah, I can show. So I tried regular Zarbon, and I was like, okay, whatever. Like, it's okay. And then he has like the version where he's like the monster, and he kind of like breaks out of his little
Yeah.
shoulder pad,
Yeah.
and arm brace.
So
But yeah,
I'm pulling up the reference. I don't know if are you watching the stream on your end?
let me see.
It's alright. I'll put this for the reference of for the stream, but I'm gonna put up
Okay.
an image of Zarbon here. There we go. And then can you show us the pretty Zarbon again? All right. Go ahead and close up on him a little more. So you got the hair shape really spot on. That kind of like old school like lover anime kind of
Yeah.
hairstyle.
Yeah.
Also, like I can tell you were really like unlocked, like with like really like synced up with like Dragon Ball Z because you got that armor exactly right, which is incredible.
Love the armor.
The kind of weird armor where like I don't know what Akira Toriyama was like thinking. Like what is this armor even supposed to be in like? It's just alien armor, or is it supposed to look like samurai plates? I don't know.
I've never really thought about that, but yeah, I guess you're kind of right. I mean, even if you think about Frieza almost kind of looks like almost like a geisha.
Oh, because of the hair
Like, if you
pieces,
think of-
yeah, and the makeup.
In like the white face. Yeah, yeah. So maybe, damn. Maybe that's
My buddy Sam, hey, what's up, Sam? Says you really captured their sense of prideful disdain. Yeah, let's close up on that face real quick. And also, like you gave Zarbon like what is it, like rat tails or like?
Oh yeah. I know that's not in the design, but sometimes like Zarbon always does this thing where like he's like fanning his like bangs away from his eyes.
No, I mean you got that exactly, and the ponytail or draped over the shoulder.
Yeah.
Chase Graves video says eyebrows are on fleek. Very nice. Damn, you even got like the little jewelry on the forehead.
Oh yeah. The little headband, yeah.
That's a pretty accurate Zarbon.
Thank you.
And then let's see the ugly one. Or
This one was
I'm
like-
being rude. Who's to say that's the ugly Zarbon? Let me pull up the reference. There he is. So yeah, it's interesting because Zarbon turns into this kind of lizard, like lizardy
Yeah.
character, and this is what I love about like Akira Toriyama's like old designs. Like it just feels so fleshed out. Like yeah, it's hard to compare.
Yeah.
You got the big old bursting muscles. The one detail that you missed on both of these, I think, is Zarbon wears like arm warmers, apparently.
Yeah, that's what it is. Arm warm. I was like, he doesn't have like the gloves like everyone else. Yeah, he has like arms. You're so right.
Which is okay.
Oh,
Zarbon is meant to be a queer coded character. I have to say.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah, and it's just so funny because like the arm warmers are like a vestige of like the 80s, I guess. I don't know when this cartoon like was drawn, but I imagine in the comics, Zarbon was also wearing these 80s arm warmers. I don't know. Very handsome. I feel like for a lot of folks, Monster Zarbon still does it. Still rocks somebody's jimmies, I'm sure. All right, let's look at Tien, which I was really happy with just the drawing I have here in general. I drew Tien with what's Tien's friend?
Chaozu.
Wait, what is it?
Chaozu.
Oh, Chaozu.
His like short friend with like the rosy cheeks.
Yeah, there we go. Let me pull up this drawing here. Actually, I'm gonna pull up a Tien action figure. So, first thing I notice is I'm still learning how to draw muscles. Even as a kid, I knew I put like too many abs, but I've actually been trying to. I've been trying to take. Not trying. I've been taking like anatomy classes, like how to draw anatomy. I've been learning more about where the muscles are. Still learning because this drawing isn't very accurate. But I drew a rather I don't know, a very mogged out like Chad Tien, because Tien has more of a round face than I thought. Actually, he has the same kind of like Vegeta jaw that like a lot of characters in Dragon Ball Z has.
Yeah.
I also didn't remember that how he dressed. Like he has like a monk sash. I don't know why I thought he had like the Taoist symbol on him. I guess that's something I just added on my own. And then for his little buddy Chatsu, I gave him like Gohan, like young Gohan's like little like traditional outfit. But they're both kind of just wearing like these monk outfits, which I never noticed.
Wait, I'm having a hard time seeing the stream. Is there a way to drop like a picture in like the?
Oh,
the chat?
let me see here. I can do. Hold on. Just so you can see it. Screen share this.
I'm like so curious.
Hold
I
on.
feel like it's probably like the best scene ever.
No. You're too kind. How can I send this to you? Hold on. I just want to make sure we're not showing private messages. 1 sec.
Do you remember?
Oh, okay, I'm back.
Wait, can you see it?
Yeah, no, this is badass.
Oh, you can't see
Yeah.
it. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's like the best scene ever. That's so good.
Yeah, yeah, I think he's just I gave him quite the jaw. I think it is a very handsome Tien, I think. But yeah.
It's beautiful. It feels very on par for Tien. Because Tien, during the Android saga, I don't know why, but he just got so buff out of nowhere. Like his shoulders, if you look at like the animation, like his shoulders are like giant balloons. Like he's literally like super swole.
And the muscles are rippled.
Yeah. I don't know if he was just like, I need to extra prepare for these robots.
Right.
Approach them with the fight, but yeah, no, you got it.
Also, Sam makes a good point. Tien actually predated Vegeta because he was a Dragon Ball character.
That is true. Because
he's from like the first Budokai arc, I believe.
Yeah, he was like super evil at first, and then I think just by meeting Goku, he was like, all right, my bad. Right.
And that's the real power Goku has, is just making a friend. Also, I'm pulling up this other action figure artwork. Apparently, Chatsu has a little hair under his hat. Damn, look at these figures. These are really good.
I kind of hate that.
You don't like that little hair? He's a little baby hair.
That's crazy.
Well,
those action figures are stupid. I like that little smirk.
Yeah. No, these figures are really good. Freddie, I'm sorry that we didn't get to the second half of the show, but I think we did really good. We got A+ on our characters, I think.
Yeah. No, I love what you did with yours. Like, it's so cool.
No, I also just really think we had a really great conversation. I think we covered a lot of topics that I've been meaning to talk to with people, especially those regarding writing, since it's been on top of my mind lately. But yeah, I just want to say, Freddie, thank you so much for being on the show. For folks who are still around, thank you for sticking around. You can actually follow Freddie's Instagram right there on the top right, Freddie Crocheron. Do you post anywhere else, or do you want to share any website or anything?
As for now, no, it's mainly Instagram. That's like my home. But yeah, if I ever branch out, you'll probably find out on Instagram.
Cool. Well, Freddie, thank you again. And everyone, have a good night. Let me find the outro button. All right, here we go.